As a medical doctor and gamer with a background in design and product development, I have had the opportunity to work with game developers to help them incorporate important, serious themes into their games. I believe that video games have the potential to not only entertain, but also to educate and to inspire players to make positive changes in their lives. In this video, we're going to take a look at the challenges game developers face when incorporating serious themes into their games and how to overcome them. But first, if you don't mind, to best support the channel and show some love, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for everything games and health. One of the main challenges in developing games with serious themes is ensuring that the overall game, including the game mechanics, the gameplay, the narrative, even the art style, effectively serve the core thematic messages of the game while also staying true to the overall design and intent of the game. For example, in a fantasy or make-believe world, it may not be necessary to depict mental health in a direct one-to-one manner, but it is important for the developers to have a good understanding of the realities of mental health in order to make informed decisions about which elements to incorporate into the game or which mental health elements to adapt to better fit the particular game's world. Some themes may require a more sensitive approach, like eating disorders or suicide, which requires a delicate balance between conveying a serious message while not trivializing it, oversimplifying it, or relying on stereotypes to represent it. In general, my advice is to not include these types of disorders into a game unless it directly serves the game's narrative or characters. It's also best practice to work with experts such as doctors, mental health professionals, or organizations in the field to ensure that the game's depiction of these themes is respectful. It's important to strike a balance between delivering educational or meaningful content in an engaging way without compromising the artistic vision of the game developers. This can be challenging, particularly when working as an outside consultant and providing suggestions for a game that many people are deeply invested in both professionally and emotionally. Good communication and understanding of each other's perspectives is crucial in order to ensure that the final product is a harmonious blend of artistic vision and meaningful content. In my consulting work, I employ a strategy which I call the 10% approach. This means that if I am brought in as a consultant, especially during the later stages of development, I aim to identify and make small changes that will improve the overall impact by 10% here, maybe a 10% there, maybe another 10% somewhere else, and preserve the original artistic vision as much as possible. I find this approach much more successful than attempting to redefine entire aspects of a game, even if they may be flawed. One easy 10% implementation is to provide warnings, resources, or guidance for players who may be affected by the themes in the game. It is important that the game doesn't just raise awareness, but also provides pathways for players to seek help and support. Of course, the best practice is to involve the experts in the game development process as early as possible, so that we can work together to be proactive in creating the best design and game direction decisions and have a greater impact on the overall game experience. In my role as a game design consultant, I collaborate with developers to align the gameplay mechanics and design elements with the intended themes and the goals of the game. One example is when I was brought in to advise on a game that was set in the Viking Age. And this game tackled a lot of very difficult themes, including ones of mental health, like depression and self-harm. I worked closely with the developers to portray these themes in a sensitive and appropriate manner, while also making the game immersive and engaging for players. One example of something that we worked together to change, there was this sanity meter that inflicted a mental illness on a character if it dropped to 0. We changed this meter to be a trauma meter that caused a character to experience a negative mental health symptom if it reached a high level. The shift from portraying mental health disorders to instead of portraying much more relatable and widely experienced mental health symptoms not only was a more appropriate way to tackle the topic, but it also served the game world and the intentions of the creators in a more direct and optimal way. This decision not only avoids offensive or polarizing portrayals of mental health, but it also helps players better relate to and engage with the game. One recent game that I believe does an excellent job of dealing with serious topics and using gameplay to convey that topic is Sea of Solitude. a game that explores the themes of loneliness and its impact on mental health. The game follows the journey of a young woman named Kay, who has turned into a monster as a result of her loneliness and isolation. As players guide Kay through a flooded and abandoned city, they must confront her inner demons and help her come to terms with her emotions. The gameplay includes elements of exploration and puzzle solving, as well as emotionally charged moments that allow players to connect with Kay and understand her struggles. Most definitely, one of the reasons that the game is so compelling is due to the fact that developers worked with mental health professionals and individuals who have experienced loneliness and depression to ensure that the themes and content were accurate and meaningful. By combining compelling gameplay with a poignant narrative, Sea of Solitude succeeds in being a memorable and fun game that simultaneously raises awareness about the importance of mental health and to encourage players to seek support when needed. Working with game developers to incorporate themes of health or serious topics into their games is incredibly rewarding and meaningful. It allows me to use my skills and expertise to make a positive impact on players and to help developers create games that have the power to inspire and educate. It's a unique opportunity to bridge the gap between the worlds of video games and health, and to use the power of interactive storytelling to make a difference in the lives of players. So if you're a game developer or creator working on the next big game, don't underestimate the power of teaming up with subject matter experts. Working closely with these professionals can help ensure that your game succeeds in portraying important themes in a way that is in keeping with the overall game world and vision for your game. By working closely with developers and using the power of games to deliver impactful and meaningful content, I've been able to contribute to the creation of video games that entertain, educate, inspire, and make a difference in the world. And it's something I hope that I can keep doing many, many more times. I truly love it. It's the best part of my job for sure. Thank you for tuning into Digital.Games. What are your favorite examples of games that tackle serious themes in a meaningful way? Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and discuss ways in which games can have positive impacts on players. And of course, don't forget to like and share this video to help me out, and subscribe for more video games and health content. See you in the next video.